we're talking all this about AZ, where does this fit Black Thought? Now, when you talk about Black Thought, Kane, and Cool G Rap, I mean, we putting Black Thought over these guys because Black Thought's tough, man.
Okay, so as I go through the Roots catalog,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mike, I guess the younger part of me that loves Philadelphia Half-Life and still thinks it's the Roots' best album, that's the album where Malik B is on there the most. Malik B is not around on the other Roots albums the way that he is on Philadelphia. A lot of the songs are solo missions. And I didn't realize, because I was such a fan of the group, and you're younger too, how many of the records that I love where it's like, no, Mike, it's just Thought.
I always looked at Thought as a soloist, in my opinion. I did. I always did.
Think about this. None of these songs is Ain't No Half Stepping, don't get me wrong. Or Set It Off, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, Mike, he's got What They Do.
Yep.
He's got Concerto of the Desperado.
Yep. Those are the records I remember seeing. Yeah.
Mike, he's got Next Movement.
Yep.
Dynamite. Break You Off. Mike, You Got Me is pretty much a solo mission.
Yeah, Eve got a verse on there, but yeah. I mean, she wasn't in the video or anything, but yeah.
I'm about to say, I mean, not being funny, do we even know who wrote that verse?
Has Eve had a ghostwriter? We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. It's just like, nah, Kane and G-Rap ain't got a resume like that. Like, you got the Hypnotic with D'Angelo.
Yeah. Now I'll give Black Thought that credit. I think that his catalog has trumped those two legends.
No, Mike, I'm not done. This is the stuff with the Roots. I'm talking. Remember Rock You Off Phrenology? Mm-hmm. Solo mission.
Yeah.
Water, The Seed.
He's not on The Seed like that though. Seed 2.0. I feel you. Yeah. Great record though.
Thought at Work. Stay Cool. Don't Say Nothing off the Tipping Point. The intro to the Tipping Point. Like Mike, he's got more. How about this, Mike? He has more solo missions than Ray and Ghost have.
That's fair. That's fair. And Ghost is my guy. Ray is too. That's fair. Jermaine
my
Johnson.
Guys too.
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, I was surprised at how much love Kappa got at Brooklyn Barclays show. Every time he got on the mic, I love him too. But I didn't expect that energy. Man, Kappa is, y'all know how I feel about Kappa. I've been the one on this show to say the unpopular thing that give me Kappa over Deck any day. No one agrees with me, but it's something about Kappa. Kappa is a star.
We're talking about Thought right now.
We are. Wu-Tang is full of stars, and Kappa's
Wu-Tang is forever. We all know Wu-Tang is forever.
You know what? We're going to continue on Thought, but in your opinion, how many stars does Wu-Tang have?
Stars?
Star power, just flat out. And we count no dirty. Rest in peace.
It's if we're talking like real star power, Mike, just truthfully, it's just 5 to me. And that would be...
Just 5?
Yeah. That sounds absurd.
They just got 5 stars in their group.
Right. It's like
there's no other group. There's no other group with 5 stars in them.
Right. Most rap groups don't have a star. Meth is obviously a star.
Obviously. Right.
Old dirty bastard, God rest his soul.
Yep.
Obviously was a star while he was here.
Yeah.
It's Ray and it's Ghost and Mike RZA's a star too.
I will quorum with you and say that I think Kappa has more star power than RZA.
No, he doesn't. He's not more compelling than RZA.
I'm picking Kappa as my 5th star. I might leave RZA out of this.
RZA's the one doing the Dave Chappelle Show skits. He's the one doing Ghost Dog with Forrest Whitaker. He's more of a star than Kappa Mike.
Really? Huh. I might have to put that one in the poll.
You're thinking about who's more animated and more of a star on the mic. You're forgetting this isn't all about the mic when you're talking about star power.
Okay, I'm gonna put that one in the chat. I think that's an interesting conversation.
Amber's is a better interview because he's the mastermind of the clan. Therefore, the questions he gets asked and the gravity of the questions that he gets asked is a totally different world that RZA lives in that Kappa doesn't live in. RZA's
no. I agree with that, and I think I look at RZA as more of a mysterious figure and more of a a cerebral figure than a star. He's definitely the Professor X in the Wu-Tang.
That's what I'm saying. But Professor X is a star in X-Men still. That's what I'm saying. It's like Professor X is more renowned than some of the people. It's like, who you want to be, Mike? Professor X or Nightcrawler?
I mean, that's not even a question.
All right.
It's not even a question. No, so I don't think that's comparable.
Kappa's more like Nightcrawler, Mike.
You think Kappa's more like Nightcrawler? I like where this conversation is going. It's some real nerdy hip hop shit.
Cyclops or Storm.
No, I would say Kappa's more of Iceman. I'll give him that.
Ghost is Iceman.
I know. Ghost is
Because Old Dirty Bastard is Cyclops. When you take the glasses off, you can't control shit. It's like if you give Old Dirty Bastard like a handle of wine or something. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta think about that. I always thought that Old Dirty's more Gambit to me.
No, Cyclops, because Cyclops is more of an integral figure than Gambit was.
Mad Max in the super chat.
The original Wu-Tang Clan. Mike, people are like, why isn't the Wu-Tang Clan music the same? It's like, well, Old Dirty Bastard's not here.
No, for real. He is the Osiris of this shit. Mad Max with the super chat says, I remember more G-Rap and Kane bars than Thought. Maybe it's just me, but Black Thought, I wouldn't even say is close to them. I got AZ over Thought. Easy. We'll talk about that. Let's see. We got another super chat here. I think that...
Unless it's Wolverine.
L Bugs with the $20 super chat showing love. He says, shout out to Mike and Coop. Hope you had an amazing birthday, Coop. Meth is Wolverine. Yes, happy birthday, Coop. I know you had an incredible birthday.
Yeah. It was actually one of the best birthdays that I ever had.
Oh, that's awesome. Well.
Yeah. There are banners hanging upstairs in my house right now to say happy birthday. There's a lot of love.
A lot of love. I love it.
Yeah, blessed.
Well deserved, sir. Well, who's Storm and Jean Grey, I guess? I don't know. I mean, the star power and Wu, like I said, I always looked at RZA as more
very X-Men like.
Yeah. What you said.
See, Gambit is more like Inspector Deck. How Gambit is with the cards, that's how Inspector Deck is with the verses. He come in and blow shit up.
Now,
like Ray and Ghost is Iceman. And Ray is like Storm.
Deck is more of an archangel to me. I think, this is the thing, and maybe that's where I differ when it comes to Kappa and Deck. I think Deck, from a skill set level, just like, Jizza, is probably the most technically sound in the group between those two. But Kappa got the swag, man. Like, every other day, my whole dress code switch. Huh?
Not a star, but the most dangerous person in the room.
Who is Jizza in the X-Men?
Jizza's Jean Grey.
Jizza's Jean Grey? Okay. I didn't hear you say that. When he goes
into liquid sword mode, he turns into Phoenix.
Okay. I could take that one. Okay, well, back to Black Thought.
But much like with X-Men, Jean Grey really wasn't a star like that.
Oh, somebody said Jizza is Beast. I like that. He is. He's the genius. And honestly, a lot of the things that Beast did go understated.
He did say my clan make me rhyme like D-Banner under pressure.
Yeah. I think Jizz is Beast.
I can maybe go for that.
Because Beast is one of those unassuming characters as well. You don't really understand everything that he adds to the collective until he's removed from the collective.
Well, I was thinking about the out of this world high intellect, but also ferocious nature.
Exactly. Dot with the super chat says, thoughts on Group Home? Group Home's a dope group. Ill Magic with the super chat says, the Fugees are the Fantastic Four. Who's the other man?
There's
Never
only
mind.
3 of them.
That's the first thing I
How
thought. Too.
the math not mathing, ill magic.
I see
Are
what
you
he
gonna pull a
means.
magic trick and make one of the Fantastic Four disappear to make the Fuji's
Now,
analogy happen?
we're gonna get to the Black Thought thing, but
It's very
I
problematic.
love the Fuji's setup, and I wish that we would get groups like that again, where it was like you had Prize who was handling the business, and you had the musician in Clef, and you had the star in Lauren. Now, granted, Clef is a star too, but Lauren is a once in a lifetime type of figure. But yeah, what do you say to the people who feel like Black Thought doesn't have the memorable bars? Because we always talk about Method Man and the way he pulls things together. Does Black Thought lack a level of star power in your opinion?
I'll tell you what. I don't think anybody's ever been this nice on the mic and made some of the big records that he's made and still not been considered a star. He does get a lot of, how about this? He gets a lot of Cool G Rap and AZ treatment. He's made far bigger songs than they've ever made. That's what I'm saying, Mike. It's like, no, he hasn't done like think about it. Like You Got Me is a super big record. Like Kane
You know why?
and G Rap, AZ don't have a record like that. Like what they do, like how about this? What they do to me is just as big as Sugar Hill. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know why, Coop? Because Questlove is the star of the Roots.
And my question to that is how, when quite frankly, my biggest complaint about the Roots are the beats. Because when they hit it, Mike, when they hit it, oh, they hit it. But sometimes they don't hit it.
I know this is going to sound crazy for our audience, and I've always felt like this. I think I've underrated.
Well, Mike, you sound crazy way more often than you realize. The people aren't going to be shocked. Go ahead, keep going.
My biggest thing with the Roots, you know what? I think I slept on Black Thought skills for the whole 90s. I always knew he was nice and all that. But I think it's because of the Roots. And to me, as an MC, I think the Roots, everything they added to Black Thought to make him different, they kind of held him back from these conversations because of the production and the blueprint that they had set for themselves as a collective, as a group. It didn't fare well against his counterparts when you're comparing them MC to MC. This is why Mad Max says things like he doesn't, remember any of his bars, or he doesn't have the memorable lines. That's because he's operating within the confines of the group's sonics. That's why Cheat Codes is such a great testament. I love to see that because we're seeing what Thought can do. Aquamarine is something he always could have done, but because of the backdrop of the Roots, we never were able to get that from him.
Right. Even when I go through these like Roots records, oh no Gold Teeth. He didn't have that in the Roots catalog. He doesn't have beats that just bang like that where it's like, oh my God. It's like, it's like, go Thought, go.
Imagine him getting a beat like I Made You Look. He could do that. But when you're in the Roots, you're not going to get that.
Okay, so let's be... First of all, man, 73 is a fucking hell of a year for lyricists. Nas and Black Thought are born the same year. That's one thing. Second thing is...
Never looked at it that way.
Yeah, they both turned 50, like about 3 weeks apart from each other. There's a great synergy going on in the rhythmic atmosphere for hip-hop history.
For sure.
At least definitely as far as the lyricist is concerned. Like, those are two of my top 3 probably, if we're going all-time lyrically. Mike, what do you think of Black Thought's voice?
I think he has a great rap voice.
Do you, though?
I do.
Is his voice memorable? Because for the first time today when I was thinking about it and I was listening,
I rated it 8 out of 10. I mean, it's not elite by the standards of, is he Chuck D with the voice? Is he Method Man with the voice? Is he Biggie with the voice? Pac with the voice? No. But I think he has a great rap voice.
Does he have a better rap voice than Mos Def or Common?
Huh.
Because here's the thing about it, Mike. He's a better MC than both of those guys.
I always thought in the collective, Mos Def was the most gifted, but I don't have enough evidence to refute
No,
your claim right there. I don't.
no.
I don't.
Like just the solo songs that I named, most ain't got work like that.
When
Most
I
ain't made that many solo songs.
when I heard Miss Fat Booty for
Yeah, I
the
seen it.
first
Sorry.
time, I knew that guy was elite. I really just out of knee jerk reaction, I put Mos Def ahead of a lot of people in his circumference. And even if you listen to the Hurricane song, right, that was on the Hurricane soundtrack, where Mos Def is um, basically rhyming from the standpoint of time. Black Thought's on there. Most out rapped him and Common on there. So I've always heralded Most's skills from in a vacuum standpoint. But if we look at the whole totality, I can't make that claim. So yes, he is nicer than me.
But does he have a better voice? Does most have a better voice than Thought? Does Common have a better
I think
voice?
Mos Def has a better voice than Thought. Common, it's close. It's a preference thing. I think Common has a more versatile voice than Thought. Definitely.
So that's what I think the problem might be. Is that how about this? Who does he have a better rap voice than Jay?
Who Thought?
Yeah.
In a vacuum,
That's the
yes.
problem, Mike.
In a vacuum, yes, but from a versatile
let
level,
me
no.
submit something to you. Let me submit something to you, and then I gotta run upstairs for a second. Mike, that's part of the problem because of all the great rappers, Jay has the weakest rap voice. And if you're as a listener are thinking Thought and Jay's voice is comparable, then that's part of his problem because he's not as charismatic as Jay, doesn't have Jay's story, isn't as personable as Jay. He doesn't have some of those intangibles that Jay have that make you forget that Jay doesn't have the greatest rap voice. Be right back.
Okay, cool. Firebird Phoenix with the super chat says, Ghost is Iron Man Tony Starks. Far as hip hop, Kappa over RZA. Far as star, Kappa Flair with Wardrobe. But overall, star power RZA by a mile. Wow, I never really looked at RZA as a star like that. Andrew Williams with the super chat says, I can't put Thought over some of these legends. He's great. He's a great MC, but he don't connect like a lot of these legends do, and the songs just aren't as good. Let's see. Ill Magic with the super chat says, Lupe Fiasco is Kang the Conqueror. Haha, I could definitely see that. And we got to talk about Lupe as a pure lyricist up against somebody like a Black Thought. Mad Max with the super chat says, RZA, Professor X, Jizza, Cyclops. Dex, Jean Grey. Meth is Wolverine. Ray is Iceman. ODB is Rogue. Ghost is Storm. Kappa, he's like Nightcrawler, and Nightcrawler was fire. I like that. I think that's a decent. You did good with that with Mad Max. Did good with that. I don't know how we got on that tangent. Ill Magic with the super chat says, MF Doom is Doctor Strange, and Doctor Doom all in one. Ah, yeah, MF Doom is Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom all in one. Andrew Williams with the super chat says, Mike, stop it. Thought Can't Do made you look like Nas. Okay, he might not do it like Nas, but we could hear him over these tracks. That Funk Flex freestyle that we all talk about, that we're still talking about, that was over the Mobb Deep record. That was over Burn. So Thought can catch wreck on these records. But I don't think that in the prime of his career, which, I mean, I feel like he's getting the second or third prime right now too, we just never were accustomed to hearing him rhyme over those tracks that would highlight how great of an MC he was. Because the way I looked at the Roots back in the day, loved their songs, but it was more so about a vibe. And it was also him blending in with that vibe as a lyricist. So to Mad Max's point, none of those bars actually stood out to me. It was kind of like a straight line of consistency and greatness, but there weren't those moments that jumped out at you like, you know, Ghost on Ice Cream or something like that. Where it's like, goddamn, backyard's banging like a Benzie. If I was Jiggy, you'd be spotted like Spud McKenzie. So we didn't really get those high level entertaining moments from Thought because I feel like the Roots were more so about that consistent vibe. And he did his job there. Michael Williams of the Super Chat says Jay's voice is way better than Thought's. Jay has way better inflection and more charisma. Thought's voice is very one dimensional compared to Jay. I don't feel, now I just said I could hear Thought on Made You Look. I don't know if I could hear Thought doing You Don't Know like I hear Jay doing You Don't Know.
So, Mike, what I'm trying to submit to you, first of all, trying to burn my house down upstairs. Definitely had to go open up some doors.
Live television, people. Live television.
But that's what I mean is that, well, we always talk about the fact that it's like, well, Jay don't have an Ice Cube, Chuck D, Rakim, Biggie, Nas, Scarface. Like, his voice ain't like that. But it's better than Thought's. And so what I'm telling you is I think why Thought stuff doesn't connect, it might be a vocal thing, Mike. Because you even think that Mos has a better voice. You think him and Common have a comparable voice. So if that's where he's fallen voice-wise, well, understand he's not as charismatic or notarized as any of those guys.
Well, on an all-time list, how do we quantify those things? Because based on what you're saying, and I'm saying this, in glowing fashion, I'm gonna have to put Redman over him, right? Like in a vacuum. I was just listening to a bunch of Redman yesterday, man. When 1996 Redman, that rap voice is crazy, and you got to think about it. To be rapping along with Method Man in the way that he does, Redman has to have a dope rap voice. I think he has a very underrated rap voice, flow, and approach.
So I think. So where would we have Redman all the time?
I know on our list we had him around 30-something, I believe.
But where would you have him?
I mean, in all fairness,
because like on my list, he's kind of like more like top 15-ish.
Huh?
On my list, he's like top 15, top 20-ish, and that's where I think Thought is too.
I would give Thought the edge, like I said, on paper, being objective. But if you ask me who I'd rather listen to, Rob, and whose music I'm going to play first, it's going to be Redman. But Thought has the versatility from a subject matter standpoint. Now, I don't know if he has the versatility from an artist aesthetic. I don't think I could hear Black Thought rhyming over the Rockwilder. I don't know if I could hear that.
Okay, so here's what I'll submit to you. It's like, this is what I mean about some of Thought's solo missions, though. What's Redman's biggest records, Mike?
I think I'll Be That. I think Whatever Man. I think Time for Some Action. I think Pick It Up. I feel like I'm missing something.
Okay, so Thought's best.
Tonight's the Night.
Yeah, Thought's better. Thought's better than that.
Are we doing a Redman Black Thought versus or something? You want... Abduct.
No, Mike, I can't get you to do a Jay-Z Kanye versus.
That's happening. That's happening.
Mike, you've been up here saying that it's happening live so many times.
Okay.
Now the people are asking.
What you doing Friday? What's up?
I want the people to know I've been off the last 3 days.
That I didn't know. That I did not know.
Break.
Birthday break. When do you want to do it?
Tonight.
We're not doing it tonight. Is tonight the only option?
What I'll tell you tonight is that Redman's solo catalog and the Roots catalog is comparable, Mike.
Let's see. Let's put this in the chat here. Go ahead.
So it's like if I'm picking, I'm taking Thought over Redman slightly based on cheat codes. Because I think the Root stuff, Mike, most of those songs are solo missions. And a lot of the times, it's like somebody else from outside of the crew comes and does a guest verse with Thought. And so it's really like a Thought solo album with guest appearances. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's fair. I think the only
Like how about
thing,
this? Do you want more? How about this? Do you want more? Things fall apart are the only times where I feel like Malik B is like really like he's not there the way he's there on Illadelph.
yeah,
And so their seminal works that like they got known for, no, I'm like, it's Thought. And then you start going into the other stuff like phrenology and game theory, and you're like, oh no, this is mostly Thought. You know, like Water's about Malik B's drug problem. You know what I'm saying? Like them talking to him. And if you'll notice, the consequent later releases say featuring Malik B.
no,
Because he wasn't part of the group anymore, Mike. It never said featuring Malik B. It says featuring Malik B on the later projects because it's just Thought.
thumbs up in the chat, everybody. Esquire with the super chat says, Thought is like the Big O. Great all-around game and undeniable resume, but overshadowed by his contemporaries, Kareem, Wilt, and Wes, and less memorable performances. Real heads know, though. Mad Max with the super chat says, he just don't have the memorable lines. Most got Miss Fat Booty home. Most got ass so fat that you can see it from the front. And it's like Thought don't have the lines that he got that you can remember. What do you think is Black Thought's most memorable line? Would you say?
No, I think that Mad Max actually may have a point. Somebody told me that this planet was small. We used to live in the same building on the same floor and never met before until I'm overseas on tour. I met this Ethiopia queen from Philly taking classes abroad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I mean. The way Thought talks, it's not great. How about this?
It's kind of like a run-on, respectfully.
He's almost articulate to a fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he just doesn't come in and say, I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous. You know what I'm saying? That's not complicated, Mike.
Or Ghost come in there like, no girl freak me, I'm just too nasty. Live on the dance floor as I attack y'all. I don't know, man. You kind of
snuck in the back door. Guess who he saw?
Yeah, I mean, Thought don't have those moments. Slick Rick has a slew of those moments.
Slick Rick and Rakim's career built on those moments, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, not long ago, when people wore pajamas and lived life slow, where laws were stern, justice stood, people were behaving like they all too good.
I said in a couple of shows back, those opening lines define stars. Scarface, I sit alone in my four-corner room staring at candles. Like, you need those, and I don't think Thought has those. He might be the highest ranked MC that we have that doesn't have those moments.
Right.
Because Ray got it on Cream.
No. So some of this is valid. So some of his ranking not being proper in some people's minds who quote unquote love the writer and lyrics part of hip hop could be the voice, Mike. But what I'll tell you is I think more than the voice, it's the charisma. Because here's what I think. I think his charisma, how about this? I say this about myself, like I'm better on the one-on-one. I think he's somebody that his charisma probably doesn't show, and you really don't see the star he is. I think the stage is his home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Great performer.
And the performer that he is and the charisma that he has, it comes out on stage. But I don't know if it translates to the booth and to the media the way that it should. Because he's that guy on stage.
Incredible writer, too.
That's what I mean about some of these songs, Mike. He's an incredible writer.
And also, I think that, when you talk about stage, the freestyle platform is a bit of a stage as well. Like when you see him on Flex or when you see him at Harvard doing those things, that's a performance. And so those are his strong suits. If he didn't have those freestyle moments where you can pull him out of the record and he could go out there and perform this stuff, I don't think people would even be ranting and raving about Black Thought now, as they rightfully should be, like they are. So you're right. The performance is a high point for him.
And you want to know what it is? he might truly be one of those people that I think if you don't see him, you might not appreciate him the way that you should. But here's also what I'll tell you. That's so important why you have to connect to the audience.
Yeah.
Because I think had more people connected to him, like at his peak emceeing level, which I think was, and not to saying he's had a peak, but, him and Nas are the same age. He kind of flexed lyrically at a stage where people thought Nas had declined lyrically. And lately, I feel like all things are more even. But I feel like he peaked a little later than Nas, because I feel like he started peaking on Philadelphia in 96. With the stuff that he did from like 96 to 02 lyrically, I feel like if people would have really known about the Roots more and listened to the Roots more here in the United States, I feel like his top 20-ish ranking wouldn't even be a question, because the bars and the songs are there. Like, think about it, Mike. How many guys got a What They Do and a You Got Me and a Break You Off?
Strong
like
record.
Just those 3 records and the Hypnotic with D'Angelo. Like, those are 4 like songs that aren't quote unquote traditional songs that lyricists make either. You feel me?
I wasn't big on Break You Off, but I get it now. Like when it came out,
I like Break You Off. D'Angelo was supposed to originally sing the hook on Break You Off, but he did what D'Angelo does a lot of the times, I've been told, so he wasn't there.
Disappeared. Andrew Williams with the super chat says, "Thought don't got it like that. He don't connect."
See what I said? It's about that connect. I feel like if he would have connected in that era the way, like, how about this? Even Redman connected because of meth a lot of time with Muddy Waters, Blackout, and just the whole having fun with it. It's like something about Black Thought and what he represented didn't connect.
The long-faced murderer, serving over 2 billion motherfuckers a day like Mickey D. Circular, working ya, shifty hour like a burglar. My crew herbing ya like we never even heard of you. That nigga not Method Man, that nigga Redman was going crazy in that time period. I think the thing with Redman for me, and this is me as a big Redman fan, I just wish that level of intensity lasted a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of faltered off. And I talk about the goodness and all of that all the time. The song The Goodness. Redman was going crazy from What the Album to Docs the Name. And after that, it was kind of a slow decline. You know what I mean? And
but here's what I'll tell you, Mike. Up until that point, very few people that went crazy for 10 years like that.
Exactly. And we always heralded Redman for that. And as a Method Man fan myself, and again, I've been very vocal in the fact that Method Man was probably my first favorite rapper. I had admitted that, yeah, Redman's better than Method Man, but Method Man's still my guy, because Redman had the solo resume, solo catalog.
Do you still feel that way? Because here's what I'll tell you. I'll listen to Takal before I'll listen to all of Redman's projects except for Muddy Waters.
I was about to say, yeah, Muddy Waters.
I said except
for Muddy Waters. I know. But Muddy Waters is a big one. That's a big one. I don't know, man. I think that if we're talking about the 90s, yes, I still feel that way. But I will have to give Method Man his props for continuously upping his level or staying consistent to a certain degree. And you have to factor in the Wu-Tang projects. You do. His input on the Wu-Tang projects and the solo efforts, that can't be ignored. Shadowboxing can't be ignored. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Method Man is actually the glue guy to the first runs in terms of the classic material. Right. Like, because I feel like he is, like, how about this? In my opinion, he puts all of the other classic albums after his albums over the top.
He does.
Like, for me, Old Dirty Bastard's album started becoming a classic when he finished his verse on Raw High.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't look at it like that back then. I was holding Method Man to this unbelievable standard for his individual solo stuff. But what he added to these classic Wu-Tang efforts, right, I can't ignore that. I can't sit here and act like Box in Hand doesn't matter. I can't act like the hook for Ice Cream and Wu Gambino's doesn't matter. I can't do that. I can't act like Shadowbox, it doesn't matter. Rawhide.
But this is what I mean. That's what I mean is that, like, on those moments, like for me, when I listen to Iron Man, it's like no, Box in Hand is the moment in the album where it's like, and then it shifts, and everything after Box in Hand is just like, well, damn.
Yeah. Web Visibility with the super chat says, where would you guys rank Black Thought just based on stage performance? I was thinking about that. Off the top of my head, he
Top
has to be
five.
top 10.
It's top 5 stage performance.
Top 5 stage performance. Okay, I'm going KRS
Only
Kane.
Kane and KRS. Yeah.
You got him over Busta Rhymes as a performer?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
got him top 3.
I was thinking DMX.
Okay. I think I got DMX over him as a stage performer. What about
That's
Kanye
it.
West?
No.
Okay. I don't know, man. Kanye's a pretty great performer. What about Kendrick?
No. They
Kendrick
not thought live.
Kendrick disappears on stage.
Yay, good for Kendrick.
Let's see. Esquire with the super chat says, if I had to pick one MC to spit for my life in a live cipher, I'd pick Thought. Breath Control will be there, and I'll be Chris from the first bar to the last. Yeah, I can agree with that. Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, Black Thought is top shelf, bourbon and neat, straight, no ice, no mixer, no gimmicks. By the way, no other rapper has more perfectly fitting name than him. Well, that's true. He has one of the best rap names of all time. Now that I'll give him. Black
Top
Thought
5 rap name.
yeah. Esquire with the super chat says, and he's like a machine live. He performs an entire set with G-Rap, Raekwon, De La, Common, and Mos, and often delivers their lyrics better than them. That's fair too. Don with the super chat says, best hip hop discourse going. Thank you. I wish we weren't in this trolling society so Nas would get truly appreciated for his unprecedented run. Stay blessed, gentlemen. Appreciate that, Don. Yeah, man, we talking hip hop over here. We're not talking about who kissing who doing this and that, who wearing whatever. We talking about some bars. Ahmad with the super chat says, peace. There's a dark side is better than Takao. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Hold on. It might be better, but do you play it more? Better don't always mean you play it more, Mike. I told you this.
I was unfair to Method Man growing up, man. And again, we were growing up in the 90s
Biscuits?
where people had bangers. Yeah, Biscuits.
You don't
is
like
great.
Biscuits, Mike?
I do. But
You
you
don't
know
like
what?
Mr. Sandman?
But this is the thing, Coop.
Release your belt, bring the pain, meth versus chef.
I feel you, but is it ready to die?
PLO style?
Is it
What
ready?
the blood clot? You don't like what the blood clot?
Is it ready to die, though? This is the levels we were putting Method Man on.
That's the problem. See, but here's the thing that you realize. You realize that meth was on a tour bus while the game was changing. And that's
We
really
didn't
the
know
only thing
those
that happened
things
to
at
Meth.
the time. We didn't know those things.
Right. The only thing that happened to Meth was on a tour bus while the game was changing. That's all that happened.
I mean, Method Man even said it on, I think it was on Hot 97 one time. He was saying that basically Ray and Ghost, they had a lot of time and vacation time to record their album where he didn't. Now, what do you think about...
They got to go to Miami, Mike. They got to go to Miami and sit down and write some rhymes for a couple of weeks. Yes.
This is what I always say when it comes to Method Man. I feel like if he would have came out with an album in 96, it would have benefited him. I've said that before, but 96 was such a heavy year, maybe it wouldn't have. I don't know. I think that break from 94 to 98, and we talked about this during Kendrick's break, for Method Man was detrimental. The game had changed so much. And looking at the stuff that came out in 98, Coop, I don't even see how, looking back on it, Method Man could have even dropped the classic album in 98. You know what I mean? Too much had changed.
How about this, Mike? Do you think Method Man's a better writer than Black Thought?
If you're talking about one verse, yes. If we're talking about a full song, no.
So Thought makes better songs than Meth.
Yeah.
Think he's a better lyricist than Meth?
No. Yes. I don't know. Because, all right, on paper, yes. But if we talk about the intangible things, being able to have memorable lines, being able to switch up your flow, those intangible things Method Man excels in, and he still's able to put together words masterfully. But if we're just talking about in a vacuum of just straight bar work, not many people can see Black Thought lyrically. But I think there's more to lyricism than just straight up bar on bar on bar. You know what I mean? Method Man does the intangible things that we're saying that Black Thought's missing, but he does them on the highest level, if that makes any sense. And that's part of lyricism.
But okay, so let's say you feel like Meth is the better lyricist. It's comparable, right?
I think so, yes. It depends on what you're looking for in a lyricist.
Hold on. And time has proven that Thought is the better song maker. Correct?
Yeah.
So we have Meth pretty high, right?
We do.
So shouldn't Thought be just as high? Or somewhere in the stratosphere of Meth?
This is the
I'm just
thing,
using these conversations to gauge where
I understand what
it.
you're saying, but this is the interesting thing about comparing these two guys.
Because he's a better songwriter than Jadakiss, too.
Oh, yeah. It's not a question. But see, Method Man has these high level intangibles, whereas Black Thought doesn't have any of those intangibles. Is there a time when Black Thought would jump on somebody's hook?
Only time I've heard him on somebody's hooks is on Common's One Day It'll All Make Sense. Yeah. I think it's Stolen Moments Part 2 or 3, where he goes, "It's a frantic situation. It's a frantic situation." Yeah, that's on.
Yeah, that's not Method Man on the hook. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not Meth on the hook. No, Mike, I mean, Meth's a better hook writer, but I'm saying that is he a better songwriter? Because that's what I mean. On so many of these Roots albums, I'm realizing are really Black Thought featuring.
People got Redman over Black Thought, actually. We got 145
I could put Redman over Black Thought, but I don't know if I could put Method Man and Jadakiss over Black Thought after realizing how many of these solo songs
he did I agree with that.
And now that he has a cheat codes.
I agree with that. I think cheat codes takes it over the top for me. Tater Tot to the super chat says LL is running circles around Thought on stage. Is LL a better performer than Thought?
Not in my opinion, but okay.